All right, so to give us his perspective on what was just read by Honorable Ibakwa, we've got Honorable Kingsley Chinda on the line with us this morning. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. Well, we just heard that, the motion that was moved asking yourself and some other members of the party to stop parading yourselves as leaders in that party, in the House. How do you respond to this?
Well, thank you, Chamberlain, for giving me the opportunity. Unfortunately, I was not at plenary when the motion was taken, and I don't see anything wrong in what we have done. We are PDP caucus leaders in the House. I still stand as the PDP caucus leader. And then I want to also use this opportunity to make it abundantly clear when the issues of minority caucus leadership came up, the People's Democratic Party advised us to bury the hatchet and allow them intervene in the matter, and that's the position I took to obey the party. The party has also asked us to continue to represent the interests of the PDP, which is a registered organization. It has nothing to do with parliamentary issues. Of course, in parliament you have caucuses, you have associations, which could be a group of members from the same political party or across political party with the same ideology. So the PDP caucus does not in any way conflict with the minority caucus, neither does it conflict with the majority caucus. You have ABGA in minority, you have the Accord, they also have their own caucuses. So I really don't see the conflict, and unfortunately, I think that it is mischief that is being done there. I can tell you clearly that for those persons that have been in charge of the minority caucus on the parliament, the floor of the House of Representatives, they appear not to be very, very free whenever they see us. So I think that the intention is to look for a way to suspend Kingsley Chinda and a few others. And this is the mischief that they are trying to play out.
So, but Honorable, when you say you represent the interests of the PDP, whose interest does Honorable Elumelu and the other members then represent in the House?
Minority leadership. Minority is made up of PDP, ABGA, and other minority parties. That does not stop those parties from having their own caucuses in the House. It doesn't. It's been the method, it's been the tradition in the House. Outside minority caucus, you still have the party caucuses. You still have party leadership in the House. So there is no conflict at all. Let me also give a clear instance. Just about a week ago, Honorable Toby Okechukwu raised a notice calling for PDP caucus meeting. Of course, I asked him whether he meant minority caucus or PDP caucus. He corrected himself and indeed apologized and said it was minority caucus. There is no conflict. Like I said, it's just mischief that is at play. Let me also ask one question. Under understates of our rules that provide for privileges, for you to talk about privilege, there must be a right that is recognized either by the Legislative Privileges Act or any other statute that has been breached. So what right have we breached? That we are associating as members of PDP caucus. How does it conflict with the minority caucus? Are you telling us that members of ABGA, members of Accord can no longer associate as such?
So, how did you come to the conclusion that they might be planning or looking for avenues to suspend you?
Well, first, let me say that, look, we know when moves are made, because clearly for that motion to have come up yesterday, there was no need for it, there was no ground for it, the basis is watery, and of course you see the trend, the way it went. And for Honorable Ibaba, who raised the issue, I also behind the scene to find out what actually happened. I have all the information of the meetings where they met to plot this, but as usual, it will fail.
To what end, Honorable Chinda, do you see all of this going, as far as from your own findings and then the motion that was moved when you were not there and your own position? To what end do you see this going, in favor or against the PDP?
Well, I think that the PDP has wasted too much time to sort out this issue of minority leadership and take a final position on it. And like I said from start, I'm prepared to abide by the decision of the PDP on this. And that's why we have not taken any further step. If you look at the circumstances that tree up the minority leadership, I would have as well also asked that an interpretation be made on these issues. But because I decided to obey the party position to hold on and wait for a final decision on this, so I think that the party is taking too much time. Perhaps this will provoke a final decision on this issue so that we'll put that to rest and then we can move on. I want to say again that governance is a serious business for serious-minded persons. So we should not begin to joke with issues like this. When you have a party caucus in place that is speaking on behalf of the party, and you think that you can begin to play this kind of smart game, to me, it's smarts of mischief, and it's not a sense of responsibility on our part.
Now,
I don't feel very, very happy with the kind of parliamentary practice that we are witnessing in this ninth assembly. And I will pray that we quickly nip that by the bud and begin to serve this country the way we ought to serve those who elected us.
which brings me to the next question, Honorable Chinda. The fact that PDP is the leading opposition party, and many are wondering how strong an opposition is PDP now in the area of holding the government to account and doing what a viable opposition ought to be doing. With this kind of rift that you're talking about and this back and forth within the party, don't you think that's a little difficult?
Indeed, it is for that reason that the PDP, having considered what is happening in the minority caucus, asks that there is need for us to set up a strong PDP voice in the House. And having started this, Nigerians again seeing the attempt to ensure that you have no opposition on the floor of that parliament. So that's why I said that this is orchestrated. Of course, it was planned. And the end purpose is to sniff out every voice of opposition, perhaps get Honorable Chinda and others out of the parliament by way of suspension, and then that way every other voice of opposition will be intimidated and cowed to keep quiet.
Are you suggesting, Honorable Chinda, that the minority caucus and the PDP caucus are working at variance?
They ought not. They ought not. They ought to complement each other. But from what you have seen that happened yesterday, it appears that there is also a fight between minority caucus and PDP caucus. But these are arms that should complement one another. Besides the PDP caucus, we also expect the other minority parties to also set up their caucuses and have a strong voice on the floor of the parliament.
Do you think that comments from some members, credited to some members of PDP BOT, makes it all the more difficult for the PDP to have a strong position on this matter?
No doubt, but it does not follow that PDP cannot resolve these issues. If you also go back to history, PDP is one political party that will always come out of any storm, no matter how stormy it is. So, while all that has happened in the past, like I said, I think that we should be in a position to offer alternative to Nigerians on the issue of governance. And we can only do that if we are united, if we speak in one voice, and if we are very serious with a clear vision as to what we want and where we're going to. But we cannot succeed if we continue to bicker amongst ourselves.
Okay, we've got a question from Markway for you as well. Just hold on. Markway.
Honorable, I see your point in terms of differentiating between the House minority and the PDP caucus. However, how do you intend to bring perhaps resolutions raised within the PDP caucus on the floor of the House? How is that going to come across, and under what name will it come across?
I didn't get that clearly.
Issues or concerns for the PDP, and under what name will they come across if it gets to the floor of the House?
This is not new, but PDP caucus has been in existence in the parliament. I have been in the parliament in the 8th and 7th assembly. We have always had PDP caucus outside either the majority or the minority caucus. So it is not new. We are not just introducing it. The name is the PDP caucus of the House of Representatives.
So are you going to be recognized on the floor as PDP caucus or minority caucus if the PDP has a position that's supposed to come through you or your group, since they don't recognize Elumelu and the Toby group?
Well, what I look at is that all these issues should be taken care of. Recognition on the floor of the House is not even the issue. What you need to do is administer members of your party, and then if there are party positions, you align yourself with that party position, and then also lobby members of your party to ensure that they align themselves with party position. That's the major role you play. On the floor of the House, you have the presiding officers, the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker, and the leadership, which is made up of members of the minority and majority leaders. They take decisions that has to do with administration of the entire House, not the party caucuses. The party caucuses will take decisions that has to do with party issues.
Honorable, thank you very much indeed for talking to us this morning. Well, we did reach out to Honorable Bakwa, but unfortunately he couldn't make it to the studios this morning. But let's go ahead and still talk about some other matters as it has to do with the National Assembly. Bakwa?
Thank you, Chamberlain. We have with us Mr. Emmanuel Ayegbonam, who is a legal practitioner. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Well, you already see what is playing out on the floor of the House. I want you to quickly give your quick thoughts on that before we move on to legislative matters and House of Reps members complaining that they rarely get access to bills before they, pass second reading on the floor of the House. Quickly, your thoughts on the politics.
Issue basically is that of privilege of the House. Let me be honest with you. And then it now concerns the members because it's their privilege that is involved. But one issue is this. It also has to do with discipline. He has said that we all saw this play out immediately after the election of the Speaker, that the PDP was not a house in order, more or less. There were factions, and the factions continued. 5 months after, the PDP as a political party has not taken a stand to endorse them as the caucus of the PDP. So whatever they are doing definitely has no backing. And I think each and every one of them have to be careful about that. Because if the party has written formally, just like we had the issue then of the APC in the last session, sending a list to Senate and the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives then, under Dogara, accepted their list. The Bukola Saraki-led Senate refused to do that. Now, if that will be a precedent, then these people will now be subjected to face whatever comes in as an issue, like I said, is issue of privilege. It is not within any person's domain as at the moment. It came in through an order of the day, or the order paper of the House of Representatives, and the motion was moved. Now, if it is now taken to Ethics or Privileges Committee, then they have to attend to that. But like I said, in my own opinion, objectively, the PDP has not endorsed nor anointed them to serve as a caucus of the PDP.
Who's that? Anointed who? The current minority leader or Honorable Chinda?
Honorable Chinda group have no official endorsement of the PDP at the moment. Of the other group, I cannot say of them, but the issue is that they have now been the accepted minority of the House of Representatives. That is the other group. Now, so whatever these Chinda's group now have may be a hindrance to them because that supportive official endorsement is not within them. Like he rightly said that they have waited for 5 months. And it raised the issue of both parties. If any person independently visits the headquarters of the PDP and the APC as the leading political parties in the country, you will see that the country is in a problem because you will not see life or basic policy engagement within this officially constitutional route of recruitment and policy support of government. And this is a critical area each and every one of us have to address. If you go to Britain now, you will see the Labour Party with a program, an endorsement entrenched in the general everyday running of the government. In Nigeria, you will not see it until after 4 years. We all come back and then we make our noise and we go back, just like the usual after the rain falls. We talk of roads we will build or electricity that will come, and then every person will go home. So that is the issue.
Just quickly take us through, only recently, members of the House of Representatives, etc., have been complaining about not seeing bills before they actually brought on the floor for second reading. What are your thoughts, I mean, in terms of the process of passing bills to law?
The issue is this. When a bill has to be published, either in the House Journal or through any other means, and then had a first reading, which is just mere mention of the short title of the bill, then it will be selected for second reading. In the course of the second reading, that's when we have the debates. And like I have been a part of this session, and I have always cried from Second Republic issue of Attorney General of Bendel and Attorney General of the Federation. And then the second, and this Third Republic case of President of Federal Republic of Nigeria and the National Assembly. There, if I will quote Oguntade then, as he then was, Oguntade listed 8 stages of a bill and made the emphasis that lawmaking is a very serious business because the destiny of the country is involved. So the issue now is these are representatives. If they have, occasionally we see that our legislative agenda, we wait until the last session of the assembly. In the 7th assembly, I personally had to go to court against the National Assembly when 65 bills were within one resolution under David Mark then passed as bills. And I said no. I went to court, though it lingered on. The president did not give assent, and the typical Nigerian issue of locus and the rest took care of that. So at the moment, the issue of passage of bills after second reading, which is the normal debate, it will be referred to a committee for further legislative action. In the case of that committee session, we are supposed to have public hearing. After public hearing, where the public or experts will have their input, it will now come back for clause by clause or presentation to the General Committee of the Whole before you have third reading. And then from there, it goes for assent. But we have always had a problem because by our culture, like I said.
We will come back and you tell us what the problem is when we come back from this break. Please stay with us.